Alrighty then, and warm welcome to the very first episode of Shakes and Fidget on this channel in English. Hello, yeah! In case you don't know me, I'm Sebastian, or Basti. I'm 32 years old since 6 days, and I play Shakes and Fidget for a long time already. I started in 2011. With YouTube, I started on another channel 2013. But I had two big breaks, 2016 till 18, and in the year 2019 I had as well some breaks. That's why you might not know me, but now you know me at least. And basically I'm doing German videos, and I will give you information why I do English videos now, and I will talk about the topic which you already should have read in the title. So, why do you have English video for now here on this channel? I mean, German viewers are able to understand English, so maybe it's interesting for them as well. But basically, I saw that some percentage of my viewers are not mainly speaking German. Some are speaking English. Quite more are speaking Czech or Polish, and I'm not able to speak Polish or Czech, but I'm just able to speak English. And I actually want to give the opportunity in English to gain some different point of views of Shakes and Fidget, to talk about some things which are already been talked in German videos from my side. But I think it's important to give other people the chance to understand. And I mean, if you do a video in German or in any other language, it's quite nice that YouTube offers you a direct transcription function and translating. That means all I say is being digitalized as text for subtitles. And this problem is that this function does not work fully properly. They misunderstand some words, and Shakes and Fidget is a space with kind of vocabulary Google cannot recognize. So actually, if you do 20 minutes of recording, you need 20 to 40 minutes to correct all the mistakes, and I don't have the time, so I can't offer quite well English subtitles, and that made me thinking about, let's talk a bit in English. And few months ago I made a video in German and in English. I had an English part in it, and people said that was quite nice. So altogether, come on. Actually, if you see this, yeah, I will be on vacation. This will be the test, the first test for an English Shakes and Fidget video by me. And I mean, there are not that many English speaking Shakes and Fidget YouTubers, if I'm right. So maybe some viewers who have some kind of questions can use me, for example, or can use my English videos to gain the information. Well, and as well, some weeks ago, someone on Instagram asked me, I mean, who was it? Okay, I cannot find it anymore, but he asked me on Instagram if the Mage is still playable. He wrote something about there came many new classes, and actually the Mage is still being alone. I mean, you have like Warrior or Battle Mage, which are actually together. Berserker is kind of special. And you have Archer or Scout, I think is the right expression. You have Assassin and Demon Hunter, which are actually quite the same. And the Mage is, except Mage is alone. I mean, Druid is intelligence-based as well, but in total, he is in a Scout or a Warrior. So, and he wanted to know if it's recommended to play a Mage. And I want to answer this question in this video. So, I don't have an active Mage now. My main char is this Assassin on server 41 Germany. And I played, of course, Mages in the past, so I think I can give you a good expression about this character class. And as well, I had a kind of class guide, which is of course made in German. Let me see, this was divided in 4 parts. Because on the first part I spoke about strength-based chars, then I spoke about dexterity-based chars. I needed the vocabulary, didn't know what it means in English. And then I spoke about intelligence-based classes, and in the 4th part I give a ranking. And I let me see if I can find this ranking for you. Because the mage, of course, was part of it. Yeah, man, this is so long ago. Really hard. I should find it actually. World 47, World 46. Yeah, it's six months ago, and the last part is has been watched about 2,147 times. And I gave different rankings there. Yeah, I will try to show you this. So what you see now is like a different... I made a really cheap ranking actually, but I gave different... I give different kind of evaluation points. Like, you cannot give a total ranking, or you can give a total ranking, but it's not exactly. So you have different things to think about in Shakes and Fidget, and I gave rankings for several factors. And one topic was coolness. This is not the most important. This was my personally opinion, but I think that the mage is a cool character class because it's this class which is able to do the most damage per hit. There's no other class being able to do that much damage with one attack. So if you have, of course, a critical hit, it's really a lot of damage points you can develop with this character class. So this is one point. Another point, now I ranked like how easy is it to beat dungeons. Means how many mushrooms do you need per dungeon if everything is the same. Like if you imagine that Berserk or Mage or Battle Mage is kind of same level, got kind of same attributes, same gear, etc., etc. Of course, the Mage is not the best class, but it's not the worst class to do dungeons. That is based by his RNG factor, because it's missing RNG factor. Shakes and Fidget is a game, I love to say it in German, it's a numbers-based game. Everything is about statistics. You have you can see it in any class. I will show you Mage here on the server. I will show you the best Mage at the moment. Should be Boris from the level. So Shakes and Fidget is all about numbers. It starts by the weapon. A weapon can give you the lowest possible on damage and the highest possible on damage. This is called, this gap is in between. You have an average damage. Then it depends on, of course, how much base points you have, how much, etc., etc. But you never have actually the same hit. The same hit doesn't give you the same damage normally because you have such a big gap between damage points. And as well, it depends on if you do a critical hit or not. But you can do a critical hit with the lowest possible on damage, or you can do a critical hit with the highest possible on damage. And this is one RNG factor which all classes have in Shakes and Fidget. Every class is the same. Mage, everyone has this gap. So everyone has a critical hit rate. So everyone is equal. But the Mage is one, actually almost the only class which is not as well based on his ability. Like Assassin can evade, so if there are ways to simulate any kinds of fights in Shakes and Fidget, maybe you know them. Maybe I can give you an English small introduction in the future. But in every fight, most of the other classes have abilities which can change the result. So this all those damage points are RNG based. You never know which damage comes next. You just are happy if you do a crit and if it gets a lot of damage. Yeah, and every class is the same in this case. But evading or blocking or raging or reviving or the fireball from the battle mage are abilities which can change the result. And so if you're lucky, you have your ability very often. And your opponent doesn't have it often, but if you're not lucky, the opponent has the ability often and you never have the ability, which means your result is worse or better depending on how much the ability took place. And the mage doesn't have one ability. His only ability is to do twice as much damage against the Berserk, but unfortunately in dungeons there are no Berserks. And so in total it means that the mage here is not the best. It's in the middle. I actually thought, is it possible? When is it possible for a character class to beat the dungeon? Berserker is the best one. Demon Hunter can be very good against warriors and archers, but yeah, against mages, Berserk is the best. But the mage is like on the fourth place. I think it's a little bit better than the warrior and battle mage to beat dungeons in general, but well, so it's here in the middle. And in the next category, I grouped not just the ability to beat dungeon or the possibility to beat the dungeon, but how many mushrooms do you need to pay to beat these dungeons. And in this case, the mage is even better than the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is not very recombinant in this category. And so, of course, other classes are better, Scout, Druid, and Berserk, but I think it's kind of equal to an Assassin, because Assassin is more expensive than Scout as well. So in the next category, I talked about PvP. And, well, in PvP, it's actually the same like in dungeons. You need your ability sometimes. But the problem is in PvP that mages mostly have not that much life. And they have to one hit with a critical hit the opponent to win the game. And, well, if you are a battle mage or berserk, you can use your ability or your life to win this PvP, but you have in Klammern as extra information, it's for mushroomers. Also this ranking is for mushroom users, but this is actually, in my case, or the most important ranking for free-to-play players. There I recommended the mage on the second position. Well, the first was for Scout or Druid. And why do I recommend this? Yeah, because of the RNG effect. If you are trying to reach something as free-to-play player, you don't have to think about all those ability proximalities. Like, you just have to focus on your own damage and your own critical hit rate, like any other class has to do the same. But, well, as free-to-play, it might happen that in 100 times you have a bad result because your ability on other classes are not that. It did not happen quite often, and the mage doesn't have this problem. Of course, it can help. Abilities can help, as we said before, but it's like both 50-50 chance, and this disappears on the Mage, and that's why I recommend the Mage, especially for free-to-play players. But the last servers showed us that mages can plays a big role in Hall of Fame as well in the first weeks and months. It depends, of course, on how much you want to pay, but I think it's because the mages can do so much damage that a lot of PvP fights are won, and I think that makes it possible for the mage as mushroom as well to be very successful on the server. And that's why, of course, you are still able to play the mage. And that's actually all. It's not even easy to explain all those things in German. And I think it's even harder in English, but I hope you could understand the point which I was mentioning. If not, just ask in the commentaries. I will give you another informations about this. And well, I think as well that the mage is very cool. I actually thought if I'm going to play a new server and I try to play competitive, that I actually could think about playing a mage. That's because I really am interested in all those damage kinds. But well, time is not really there actually. I'm not sure if next year will be better. But well, Shakes and Fidget is now above 12 years old. I think there's a possibility that it can get still very much older. So maybe I have a chance to provide this goal with my mage in the future. Let me see. Well, I hope you enjoyed the information you gained here, and feel free to ask anything. Feel free to give me, as I said before, some other topics for the future. And yeah, I will see when I'm back from vacation how it worked out for you guys. And so, well, I'm looking forward to see your reactions. And well, if you liked it, of course, give me a thumbs up. If not, do it nevertheless. And well, see, what is my... and in German I say haut rein, macht tschüss und servus. It's hard to say this directly in English. We'll try. Anjit, make bye, and servus. No, it's really hard.